Austin was a 30-year-old man with dreams bigger than the sky. He had grown up with nothing, but he was determined to change his story. Today, he worked in a big company in Lagos as a senior executive. His salary was good, and life seemed perfect. He lived in a beautiful apartment in Lekki with his wife, Amelia. The apartment had marble floors, sparkling chandeliers, and a balcony that overlooked the ocean. Every evening when the sun began to set, a golden light filled their living room, making it look like a palace. Amelia was 28, a woman whose beauty made heads turn everywhere she went. Her skin glowed like polished bronze, and her long black hair flowed like a river down her back. She loved fashion, expensive clothes, and luxury. People often said, "Austin, you are a lucky man." And truly, Austin believed that. He loved Amelia with all his heart. Life seemed perfect, at least from the outside. One evening, after dinner, Austin sat on the sofa. The TV was on, but he wasn't watching it. His face was serious. He had been thinking about their future for weeks. "Amelia," he said gently, "come and sit with me." Amelia walked in gracefully, holding her phone. She was scrolling through Instagram, looking at pictures of luxury vacations and designer clothes. She sat down slowly and looked at him. "Yes, why are you looking at me like that?" she asked, adjusting her hair. Austin smiled softly. "You know I love you, right?" "Of course," Amelia said, her eyes still on her phone. Austin took a deep breath. "I want to set up a business for you, something big. Before we start having children, I want us to build our own house. You know this job I do, it is under somebody. Anything can happen tomorrow. I want us to be prepared." Amelia froze. Slowly, she raised her eyes from the phone and stared at him. Her face changed from calm to angry in a second. "What do you mean by that, Austin?" she asked sharply. Austin was confused. "What do I mean? I just want to secure our future. A business for you so you can have something of your own. If I lose my job tomorrow, we will not suffer." Before he could finish, Amelia cut him off. "I don't want to hear it. All I want is to live my life, wear expensive clothes, travel, and enjoy. I married you to take care of me, not to make me suffer. Please, Austin, don't ever mention business to me again." The room became silent. The only sound was the ticking of the wall clock. Austin swallowed hard and nodded slowly. "Okay, Amelia," he said softly. "If you don't want it, no problem." Without another word, Amelia stormed into the bedroom, her heels clicking on the marble floor. She picked up her phone and dialed her best friend immediately. "Guess what?" she said angrily as soon as the call connected. "My husband just insulted me. He said he wants to set up a business for me. Can you imagine? Business! For what? Did he not promise to take care of me? He must take care of me." Austin could hear her voice from the living room, but he said nothing. He was a man who hated trouble, so he kept quiet, turned off the TV, and went into the guest room. That night, he lay awake, staring at the ceiling. His heart was heavy, and for the first time, he wondered if Amelia truly loved him or just loved the life he gave her. Life moved on like a gentle river. Austin worked hard every day. He paid the bills, bought groceries, and made sure Amelia was happy. That was all that mattered to him. Every morning, Austin dressed neatly for work, kissed Amelia goodbye, and stepped out of their beautiful apartment in Lekki. Amelia, on the other hand, spent most of her time shopping online, chatting with friends, and taking pictures for social media. Austin never complained. He believed a happy wife meant a happy life. But one morning, everything changed. Austin was standing in front of the mirror, fixing his tie, when his phone rang loudly on the bedside table. He picked it up quickly. "Hello?" A panicked voice came from the other end. "Austin, where are you?" Come to the office now. Fire has burned the whole building." Austin froze. "What?" His voice shook. "The whole company? Everything is gone." Before the man could say another word, Austin threw the phone on the bed, grabbed his car keys, and ran out of the house without saying a word to Amelia. The moment he drove into the office compound, his heart stopped. Smoke still curled in the air. Firefighters were spraying water on what was left of the building. It was gone, completely gone. People stood around, crying and talking in low voices. Austin's legs felt weak. His job, his dreams, his future, all had turned to ashes in one night. He sat on the bonnet of his car, staring at the ruins. For a moment, he couldn't breathe. He thought about the loans he had, the bills waiting at home, and Amelia's expensive lifestyle. "What am I going to do?" he whispered to himself, holding his head in his hands. Austin drove slowly home, like a man carrying the weight of the world. When he opened the door, the house was empty. Amelia was not there. He called out, "Amelia!" No answer. He checked the bedroom. Nothing. The kitchen? Empty. He sat on the floor in the sitting room, his head resting on the sofa. Tears rolled down his cheeks. He felt like his life was over. After an hour, the door opened. Amelia walked in holding a big shopping bag. She looked happy. "Baby, guess what? My hair finally came. See how fine it is?" She laughed, bringing out a long, expensive wig. Austin raised his head slowly. His eyes were red and swollen. Amelia frowned. "What is wrong with you? Why are you sitting on the floor crying like this? Did your boss die?" Austin looked at her, his lips shaking. "Amelia, the company burned down. Everything is gone." Amelia's eyes widened. "What? Fire? In your company?" She stood still for a moment, then shrugged. Don't worry. You will get another job. Stop stressing yourself." She turned to the mirror and started checking the wig. Austin just stared at her, speechless. 6 months passed like a slow-moving storm. Each day came with its own struggles, and Austin felt the weight of life pressing on his shoulders. He had searched everywhere for work, companies, offices, even small shops, but nothing came. Every rejection was like a stone thrown at his heart. Bills piled up, rent notices kept coming. Their savings dried up like water in the sun. One evening, Austin sat on the edge of their large leather sofa, his face pale, his eyes tired. Amelia sat opposite him, scrolling on her phone, her legs crossed. He cleared his throat softly. "Amelia," he began, his voice low. She didn't look up. "My love, things are hard," Austin said slowly, as if each word carried a heavy load. "We can't continue like this. We need to leave this house and move to a cheaper place." At first she froze, then she looked up, her eyes wide with shock. "What?" she shouted, dropping the phone on the glass table. "From this beautiful house to where?" Austin swallowed hard. "Somewhere smaller, somewhere we can afford until things get better." Amelia stood up so fast her chair almost fell. Her voice shook with anger. "Austin, are you trying to make me suffer? I cannot live in a poor area." "Me, Amelia? Do you know what people will say? You better find a good job and take me out of this mess. Do you hear me?" Her words pierced his heart. He stretched his hands toward her. "My love, I am trying, but what can I do when nothing is working? We can't keep owing rent. We can't keep eating from hand to mouth." Amelia hissed loudly and folded her arms. "That's your problem, Austin. When I married you, I thought I was marrying a man with sense. Now, see where you want to bring me down to." Austin sat there quietly, staring at the floor. He had no strength to argue. For 3 days, he kept begging, explaining, pleading, but Amelia refused. She cried, shouted, and even threatened to leave him. In the end, they had no choice. The landlord gave them an ultimatum, and Austin managed to gather the little money he had left. They moved from their big, beautiful apartment in Lucky to a small one-room apartment in Icorodo. The day they moved, Amelia didn't lift a finger. She sat in a corner, scrolling on her phone, while Austin carried boxes on his back like a laborer. When they arrived at the new house, Amelia looked around the tiny room and screamed, "Jesus, Austin, what is this? You have killed me. From a fine house to this hungry place? You better do something fast because I will not stay here and die." Austin dropped the last bag on the floor and wiped sweat from his forehead. His heart felt like it would break. "I'm sorry, Amelia. I will fix this, I promise." But she wasn't listening. She just turned her face away and started crying. Days turned into weeks. Austin kept looking for work. He went out every morning and returned late at night, but still nothing. He even stopped eating well so Amelia could have more food. One hot afternoon, as he walked home tired and dusty, he met an old friend on the road. They talked, and by the end of the conversation, the man made an offer. "Austin, I have a bus. I can give it to you for transport business. You will drive, make money, and balance me every day." Austin felt a small light of hope flicker in his heart. It was not the kind of job he wanted, but at least it was something to bring food to the table. That night, he rushed home with a smile for the first time in months. He opened the door and saw Amelia lying on the bed, pressing her phone as usual. "Amelia," he said, almost out of breath, "I met someone today. He will give me a bus for transport. I will drive and balance him every day. At least it is something." He expected her to smile, to say something encouraging. Instead, Amelia looked at him with disgust. Her lips curled like she had just tasted something bitter. "Transport?" she said slowly, her voice dripping with scorn. "Bus driver? You think I will stay here and do this nonsense life with you? From Lecky to Icorodo, now you want to be a common bus driver? Austin, is this your big dream? With this your bus, you will buy my cream and soap? You will give me the life you promised me?" Austin felt the words stab his heart like a knife. He clenched his fists to stop the tears from falling. "Amelia," he said softly, his voice shaking, "you are my wife. I need your support, not insult." But Amelia just hissed, turned her back to him, and walked to the corner of the room. "You have failed me, Austin," she said coldly. Austin sat on the edge of the bed that night, staring at the cracked ceiling. For the first time, he wondered if his marriage was sinking faster than his dreams. Austin woke up early that morning with a heavy heart. He had been driving the borrowed bus for 2 weeks now, but nothing good was coming out of it. The old vehicle broke down almost every day. Sometimes he would spend the little he made on repairs, leaving nothing to take home. That afternoon, he sat in the small sitting room, staring at the cracked wall. His hands shook as he counted the few wrinkled notes in his pocket. It wasn't enough to pay rent, not even enough to buy food. Amelia sat across the room, scrolling on her phone, her face tight with irritation. "Austin," she said sharply, "what are we eating tonight? Or should I just drink water and sleep?" Austin swallowed hard. "I'll find something. Don't worry." Before Amelia could respond, there was a loud knock on the door. Bang, bang, bang. The sound echoed like thunder in their tiny apartment. Austin jumped up, his heart racing. When he opened the door, it was the landlord, Chief Ade, a tall man with a big stomach and eyes that never smiled. "Austin," Chief Ade barked, "where is my rent? You were 2 months behind. If I don't see my money this evening, I will throw you out. Do you hear me? This evening." Austin's throat went dry. He knelt on the floor immediately. "Please, sir, I beg you. Things have been hard for me. Give me 1 more week. I promise I will pay everything." The landlord looked at him with cold eyes. "1 more week? You said that last time. I am tired of promises. If I don't see my money tonight, you and your wife will sleep outside." With that, he turned and walked away, leaving Austin frozen in fear. Amelia stood by the door, her arms crossed. "So now we are begging like slaves, eh? Austin, you have disgraced me enough. When will you man up?" Austin looked at her with pain in his eyes. "Amelia, I am trying. I am doing everything I can." "Try harder," she snapped and walked inside. That evening, Austin decided to go out and see if he could borrow money from an old friend. As soon as he left, Amelia sat alone in the room, her face hard. She hated the life she was living now. No money, no fine clothes, no friends. She remembered how her friends used to envy her in Lecky. Now she was ashamed to even pick their calls. She thought for a while, then stood up, adjusted her wrapper, and walked out. Her legs carried her straight to the landlord's house. When Chief Ades opened the door, he smiled slowly, his eyes roaming all over her body. "Ah, Madam Amelia, to what do I owe this visit?" Amelia lowered her eyes and spoke softly. "Sir, please, I came to beg you. Give us more time. My husband will pay, I promise." The landlord chuckled and leaned on the doorframe. Your husband has been promising since last month, but let me tell you the truth. Promises don't pay bills." Tears welled up in Amelia's eyes. "Please, sir, don't throw us out." Chief Ade's smile widened. "You are a beautiful woman, Amelia. Why don't you use what you have to help your husband?" Amelia frowned, her face twisting in confusion. "What do you mean?" The landlord stepped closer, his voice low and deep. "If you sleep with me, you and your husband can stay here for free as long as you want. No more rent. In fact, I will even give you money, plenty of money, to take care of yourself." Amelia gasped. "What?" She took a step back, but the landlord didn't stop. "Think about it. You are suffering now. Look at you, beautiful woman like you living like a beggar because of one useless man. I can change your life." Amelia turned away, breathing hard. She wanted to walk out, but then she thought of her empty stomach, the insults from her friends, the fine life she used to live. Slowly, she turned back and looked at him. "Well," she said, her voice shaking, "Austin is useless now. At least someone will take care of me the way I deserve." A wicked smile spread across the landlord's face. "Good girl. You won't regret this." From that day, everything changed. The landlord kept his promise, no more rent, and Amelia suddenly had new clothes and perfumes. She even started cooking better food, but not for Austin. She stopped letting him touch her. When he tried, she pushed him away. One evening, Austin returned home tired and sweaty, only to find Amelia wearing a new gown with makeup on her face. "Where did you get money for this?" he asked. Amelia looked at him coldly. "Don't ask me foolish questions, Austin. Just be happy I am not naked in this house." Austin kept quiet, but his heart was burning with suspicion. A week later, the landlord came to the house, smiling from ear to ear. "Austin, my boy, don't worry about the rent again. Someone has helped you." Austin stood up, confused. "Who helped me? I want to thank the person." The landlord laughed and walked away without answering. Austin rushed inside, his chest pounding. "Amelia, who helped us with the rent?" Amelia looked at him with a small smile. "Don't worry about it, Austin. Just be grateful." Austin stared at her, fear and anger rising in his heart. Something was wrong. Something very wrong. Months rolled by like a slow, painful song. Austin tried his best to keep the home together. Every day he woke up early, drove the bus, and came back late at night, tired and hungry. The money was never enough, but at least they still had a roof over their heads. Something had changed about Amelia. She was no longer the bright, cheerful woman he married. She had become moody, withdrawn, and often lost in thought. Whenever Austin asked what was wrong, she would smile faintly and say, "I'm fine, my love." But deep inside, Amelia carried a secret that burned like fire in her heart. Then one morning, Amelia collapsed in the kitchen while making breakfast. The plate of food shattered on the floor. "Amelia!" Austin shouted, rushing to her side. Her skin felt hot, her body weak. Fear gripped his heart like a cold hand. He carried her to the car and sped to the hospital. Hours later, after several tests, the doctor came out of his office with a serious face. "Mr. Austin, please come with me." Austin followed, his hands trembling, his mind racing with 1,000 thoughts. Inside the small office, the doctor closed the door and spoke softly. "Mr. Austin, I'm sorry to inform you, but your wife tested positive for HIV." The words hit Austin like a thunderbolt. He felt the ground shift beneath him. His ears rang, his vision blurred. What did you just say?" he stammered. "She is HIV positive," the doctor repeated. "We need to start treatment immediately to manage her condition." Austin's world collapsed in that moment. His legs felt weak. He held the edge of the table for support, his heart pounding like a drum. Tears burned his eyes, but he fought to hold them back. He walked slowly to Amelia's ward, each step heavy like a stone. When he opened the door, she was lying on the bed, looking pale and weak. When she saw him, tears rolled down her cheeks. "Austin," she whispered. Austin moved closer, his voice shaking. "Amelia, what is going on? How did this happen?" Amelia covered her face and began to sob. "Austin, I am so sorry. Please forgive me." "Forgive you for what?" Austin's voice was rising, anger mixing with pain. "What happened, Amelia?" Amelia cried louder, her whole body shaking. "It was the landlord," she said between sobs. He said, if I sleep with him, we will stay here for free. I did it for you, Austin. I didn't want us to suffer. I thought I was helping." Austin stared at her in shock. His jaw dropped. His hands shook. You did what?" "I am sorry," she cried. "I was thinking about you, about us. I didn't want you to keep struggling for rent. I thought it would help." Austin's eyes turned red with fury. His voice thundered through the room. "Help me? You call this help? When I wanted to set up a business for you, did you agree? You refused because you wanted an easy life. And now you have destroyed everything." "Austin, please, I was wrong. I regret it. Please forgive me," she cried louder, her voice breaking. Austin clenched his fists, his chest heaving with pain. He turned around and walked out of the room. His heart felt like it would burst. He could not believe what he had just heard. When he got back home that evening, the house was quiet, too quiet. The landlord's door was open and his things were gone. The man had run away. Austin sat on the edge of the bed, his face buried in his hands, tears streaming down his cheeks. "If only I knew," he whispered, his voice cracking. "If only I knew why my landlord told me not to pay rent again. If only I knew the price Amelia was paying." He looked around the room, memories flooding his mind. The laughter they once shared, the love they once had. Now everything was broken, shattered beyond repair. Austin lay down slowly, staring at the ceiling with empty eyes. His heart bled silently. The home he fought so hard to keep had become a place of pain. And in that dark, heavy silence, one thought kept echoing in his mind like a haunting song. If only I knew.